guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley and this is Worth the Read, where we talk about books that are worth your time reading. If you see my last video, you know that I had a little mental situation going on. I'm back, I'm healthy, I'm great, and I'm reading again. And that's the point of this whole channel, is to talk about books that are worth your time reading. So today's video is a book review of 2 books. So let's get right into it. I'm back, guys. I haven't read a whole complete physical book in it's October, almost 3 months. That's how bad it was, guys. But I'm back, so let's get into it. So the first book we're going to review is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I'm gonna tell you off the back, I give this book 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I read it, and then a month later I reread it on Audible. I enjoyed this book. The main reason why I enjoyed this book is it's based in Philadelphia. To the point where I researched to see if the author was from Philly, but she's not. She had to spend some type of time here or know somebody from here, because the way she wrote about the love of the city and the people, her character's love of the city, is a Philly thing through and through. Like, no matter how bad people talk about this city, if you're from Philly, you love Philly. Period. That's it. So, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that her main character named Imani loved her city. She loved her neighborhood. She loved the environment she lived in. So many times you see movies and books and they portray these cities as such hateful places, and the people from them hate being there, and there's no opportunities and things like that. And this book was complete opposite. It made itself aware of the downfalls of the city, but it was the main character's love for it and respect for her city and her neighborhood was just all throughout this book, and I really appreciate that from the author. This is a coming of age story. The main character's name is Imani. We meet her in her senior year in high school, and by this point she already had a child. She had a child a freshman year in high school, and she's not the best student, but she has this God-given talent of knowing how to cook, and it just comes naturally to her. The ability to experiment with flavors, the ability to absorb and learn different cooking techniques just from watching TVs and YouTube videos and things like that, came naturally to her. So, which I think is good to see a main character who kind of has a talent and knows that this talent can take them far in life, and is focused on that from the very beginning. She knows that she's an excellent cook. Her grandmother, who's raised her, told her since she was like 3 years old, when she caught her over the stove, that she knew what she was doing. She was an excellent cook. So we meet her in her senior year in high school, and she has a child, and the whole book is about her balancing her life with being a teen mom and, you know, her reputation and people's perspective of her life, and deciding if she wants to go to college or not, on deciding if, you know, college is the right fit for her. I think that, you know, in my past employment, I tell my students all the time, society says you're supposed to go to college, but everybody is not meant for college. We all know this. And sometimes going to college can be a bigger of a hindrance than it could be a positive thing. A lot of people come out of college with hundreds and thousands and thousands worth of debt, and then you apply for jobs, and jobs are just like, well, you don't have any experience. And it's just like, I spent the last 4 or 5 or whatever amount of years learning, so I wouldn't have experience. That's why I went to college, so I can get this piece of paper that says I'm worthy of getting a job. then you don't want to give me the job because I don't have experience. So she is caught between a rock and a hard place. She knows she wants to be a cook. She knows that's her talent. She knows she's excellent at it, but she doesn't know if college is the right direction to go to achieve that dream. And you go with her, you battle with her, you get to her day-to-day struggles of being a teen mom, having to balance working at the Burger John, and which is a burger spot. It's not a real location, but it's a burger place in Philly, and going to school. She's in a charter school, and the school is offering a cooking class for the first time since she's been there. And with the cooking class is a trip to Spain, and she lives with her grandmother. They're the only ones. Her father kind of abandoned her at a young age when her mother passed, giving birth to her, and he moved back to Puerto Rico, and he left her with her grandmother. And financially they're struggling, but she wants to be a chef, and she wants to be in this class, and she wants to go to Spain on this trip to learn. And it's just an excellent book. It's well written. She never makes you feel sorry for her and her situation. She's very stable in the fact that she decided to have a child. She knew it was going to be a struggle being young, but it is what it was, and she was not going to use that as a crutch. And I love to see that in the book. She was a strong Afro-Latino. She was very proud of that. She was very proud of the neighborhood she came from, its flaws and all. And I enjoy reading books like that. This is a coming-of-age story I would suggest for any teen, preteen. It's a smooth read. And when I say a smooth read, it doesn't have a lot of the good parts and then bad parts, and then good parts and then parts you could skip, or good parts and then parts that shouldn't be there because it's making it too long and it wasn't necessary. Smooth read. It was good all the way through. Everything that was stated in every chapter was vital to tell the story. So I give this book 4 stars. I highly suggest it. This is the second book I've read by Elizabeth. I love the first one. I love this one. Check it out. With the Fire on High. The second book I'm reviewing today is Queenie by Candice Carty Williams. Now, I give this book 2.5 stars. Personal reasons. This is a book whose main character is an Afro-American young woman who works for a magazine or a publishing company, and she just can't get her together. She just can't get it together. I don't like reading books like this, and like I said, this is personal to me. I do not like reading books like this because I feel like on a daily basis, living as a Black woman trying to work in a professional environment, I know the struggles that she was going through, and to see someone go through the same struggles that I've gone through or I've been going through and just can't get it together for personal stuff, it's just like you're letting your personal life affect your professional life, and we just can't do that. Like, it's just not, you can't do that. So Queenie is in London, and she's Jamaican. She comes from a traditional Jamaican background, so they're very religious, and they don't believe in mental health professionals. I just want to let you know that. Okay, that's important to know. And a lot of, not just Jamaican, but a lot of people of Afro-American descent or African descent don't believe in mental health issues. They're more of the prayed away, go to God situations, which we realize that it's not, always the best way to do it. Sometimes you have to seek a professional to get your mental together. But Queenie, let me take it back. This book has been compared to Bridget Jones's Diary, and I can understand the comparison. She's young, she's a professional, but her personal life ends up causing her to ruin her professional life. She was in a relationship with her boyfriend who happens to be Caucasian, and he breaks up with her. And he breaks up with her for a good reason. Like, she treated him horribly, but she doesn't realize that until after the fact. And her going through this breakup causes her to slack majorly in her job. And I think she really got a lot of leeway. Like, her boss gave her a chance after chance after chance after chance to get her stuff together and stop allowing her personal life to consume her and ruin her professional life. And she just could not get it together. And I hate those weak-minded characters. I feel like, yes, there are women out there that could relate to this, but there's just, and maybe that's my own personal issues I'm putting on this book, but you have to get it together, girl. You're messing with your paper. She was kicked out of her boyfriend's apartment. They end up separating. So she ended up moving into a flat with these old people that she hated, but she ends up losing her job, so she couldn't afford that. So she ended up having to move back with grandma and grandpa. All because she was so consumed about this relationship that she just could not get it together professionally. So she let her relationship affect her money. And I just don't respect that. And again, maybe it wasn't that bad. I'm just internalizing this book. But it was just like, girl, she was starting to have random sex partners. She was self-destructing. And it was just like, okay, when are we going to get to the point where she figures out that she realizes that she's self-destructing? When is she going to get to the point where she realizes this is more a mental issue that she needs to work out with her mother? She had issues with her mother. Her mother was in an abusive relationship throughout her whole childhood, basically, to the point where the mother gets an apartment to leave her boyfriend and then just end up sending her 11-year-old daughter to live there basically by herself for almost 6 months. So Queenie lived in an apartment by herself for almost 6 months. And her mom went back to the abusive boyfriend. So you could understand why she had relationship issues. But the fact that she kept on allowing that to affect her professional life and her money, I just was just like, all right, I'm over it. Like, these are one of those books that you end up talking to the book and you're just like, girl, get it together. Like, I'm tired of the excuses. I need you to figure it out and move on. So, because of that, I didn't enjoy this book. I was just ready for it to be over. I was ready to find some conclusion or what she was going to do or how she was going to figure her stuff out. Was she going to stay with her grandparents? Was she going to go to a therapist? I know I'm telling you a lot about this book. If you want to try to read, I always love to support authors of color. So this was one of the books I read. But it was draining. Like, just like Bridget Jones' Diary, this book was draining. I was just ready for it to be over. I was either ready, I hate to say this, but I was either ready for her to have a mental breakdown where she would just end up in the hospital or get over it and move on. Because she needed to be in therapy and it just took so long for her to realize that. And I was just over it by that point. So I don't suggest this book as worth the read. I listened to this book on Audible. I could not imagine myself reading this book. If I had read this book hard in hand, I would have never finished it. I know that personally. I would have never finished it. And that's pretty much it. If you're looking for a black Bridget Jones's Diary, this is this book. And that is my review of With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo and Queenie by Candice Carty Williams. I thoroughly enjoyed one, not so much the other, but that's the point of reading books, to find out what you love, what you like, and what you absolutely despise. I did not absolutely despise Queenie. It's kind of in between it was okay and I hate it, but that's the point of reading. That is all. I'm not going to tell you what I'm currently reading because it's been taking me forever to read this book. I did not like this book either. I don't know what it is. I'm just picking up books that I am not feeling, and when I do not like a book, it takes me forever to read it. But I will tell you what I will be reading next, and that is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I have not read this book. This book is almost a year old. I have not read it yet, but I will be reading it next. I will not pick up any other book before I read this book. And that is all. Comment, down below. Subscribe, like, dislike if you don't like my video, but I hope you don't. I'm back. I'm healthy. I'm okay. My videos will be coming back on a regular basis. Thank you for holding it down and bearing with me. But I'm back. So we're out. Homework 3. Philly, say what's up. Hey. Peace out, y'all.